The journey of the soul is an expansive narrative that began long before our physical birth and will continue long after our final breath in this world. For those who have reached a point of maturity, life is no longer seen as a series of random collisions or biological accidents, but as a meticulously organized school for the spirit. Allan Kardec, through his systematic observations of the invisible world, reminded us that we are never truly alone. Even when the silence of our rooms feels heavy and the weight of our problems seems insurmountable, there exists a specialized class of spirits, often referred to as guides or mentors, whose entire existence is dedicated to our advancement, watching over us with a patience that transcends human comprehension. These companions do not seek to control our destiny, for the law of free will is sacred and inviolable, but they seek to whisper hints that keep us from falling into the abyss of absolute despair. To listen to them is not a sign of weakness or a flight from reality, but an act of supreme intelligence, acknowledging that our limited five senses cannot perceive the full spectrum of the universe. As we begin this exploration, we must open not just our minds but our intuitive centers, recognizing that the subtle currents of air and the sudden flashes of insight are the primary tools of a mentor who is currently trying to wake us up to our true potential. The physical body acts as a sensitive instrument, a dense receiver that captures the fluctuations of energy surrounding our spiritual self, often manifesting signs that the intellect attempts to dismiss as physiological anomalies. When you are sitting in a quiet space and a sudden localized chill runs through the air or causes the hair on your arms to stand up, you are witnessing the intersection of two distinct planes of existence. This resonance is often the result of a mentor intensifying their vibratory field to break through the barrier of your daily preoccupation, serving as a tactile knock on the door of your consciousness. In the teachings of Spiritism, we understand that spirits can act upon matter and our nervous systems, creating these sensations of cold or warmth to signal their immediate presence during a moment of spiritual significance. It is a biological alert system that tells you to pause, to look up from your screen or your worries, and to acknowledge that you are being observed with love and intention. These shifts often occur when you are contemplating a deep truth or when you are on the verge of making a decision that aligns with your higher purpose, acting as a physical confirmation of a spiritual truth. If you learn to stop fearing these sensations and instead welcome them with a breath of gratitude, the frequency of these contacts will grow, and the physical bridge between you and your guide will become a constant source of comfort and guidance. Sleep is the great liberator of the spirit, the period during which the soul partially detaches from the heavy constraints of the physical body to rejoin the company of those it loves in the invisible world. During these nocturnal hours, your mentor takes the opportunity to conduct intensive sessions of healing and instruction that would be impossible while your conscious mind is busy guarding its ego. These visions are not the chaotic residue of your daily stress, but structured narrative experiences designed to restore your energy and offer solutions to the blockages you face while awake. You may wake up with a feeling of absolute serenity, a profound peace that seems to have no origin in your physical circumstances, which is the emotional residue of an encounter with your guide. Even if the details of the dream fade within minutes, the energetic imprint remains in your soul, acting as a hidden reserve of strength that you will draw upon during the difficult hours of the upcoming day. The mentor uses symbols that resonate with your specific cultural and emotional history, creating a customized language of images that bypasses your logical skepticism to reach the spirit directly. By valuing your rest and setting an intention for spiritual connection before you close your eyes, you allow these restorative visions to become a primary channel for wisdom, turning your sleep into a period of profound evolution and celestial dialogue. The invisible world is a master of synchronization, weaving the threads of different lives together to create moments of profound clarity that we often mistakenly label as luck. Your mentor possesses a panoramic view of the social landscape, and when you are stuck in a cycle of circular thinking, they can inspire a stranger, a colleague, or an old friend to cross your path at the exact second you are receptive to a specific message. You might be standing in a queue or sitting in a park when a person says a phrase that mirrors a silent question you asked in your heart hours before, acting as a human mouthpiece for your spiritual guide. These orchestrated encounters serve to show you that the spiritual world is actively involved in your material reality, using the law of affinity to bring resources and people to you that match your current vibrational need. It is a form of indirect communication that respects your autonomy while providing the external confirmation necessary to build your confidence in your own intuition. When a piece of advice begins to repeat itself through multiple unrelated sources, the mentor is effectively shining a spotlight on a path you have been hesitant to take, urging you to move forward with the assurance that the universe is supporting your progress. Learning to read the wisdom found in these random interactions transforms every human encounter into a potential spiritual lesson, making you more observant, more humble, and more connected to the collective consciousness of humanity. Intuition is the natural language of the soul, but there are specific moments when an idea enters your mind with such clarity, such speed, and such an alien quality to your usual patterns of thought that it can only be described as an external transmission. These flashes of insight often arrive during moments of relaxation or during mundane, repetitive tasks, when the constant noise of the analytical brain subsides long enough for the mentor to drop a pearl of wisdom into your awareness. Unlike the slow step-by-step logic of the human mind, this spiritual intuition is instantaneous and carries a weight of certainty that requires no further evidence or debate. It acts like a sudden flash of lightning in a dark forest, showing you the terrain of your life in an instant and revealing the correct path through a complex moral or practical dilemma. Allan Kardec noted that this constant whisper of guidance is always available to those who cultivate internal silence, for the spirits are our constant counselors in the laboratory of life. This flash of inspiration might prevent a disaster, suggest a creative solution, or simply provide the comfort of knowing that your current path is correct, regardless of what the external world may say. By acknowledging that your greatest ideas often come from a source higher than your own intellect, you foster a relationship of humility and cooperation with your mentor, allowing your life to be guided by a wisdom that sees far beyond the horizon of the physical world. There is a specific, sacred type of sadness that visits the mature soul, a deep longing for a home that does not exist on the map of this earth, a nostalgia for a state of being that is free from the density of material suffering. This feeling is often triggered by a strain of music, a sunset, or a moment of deep silence, and it is a signal from your mentor that you are being reminded of your true, luminous origin. It is a mechanism of the soul intended to prevent you from becoming totally immersed in the illusions of the material world, acting as an anchor that keeps your perspective fixed on the eternal. This saudade is not meant to make you unhappy in your current life, but to give you a sense of purpose, reminding you that your stay here is temporary and that you are an ambassador from a realm of much higher beauty and harmony. When you feel this wave of unexplained emotion, your mentor is holding you in their embrace, validating your sense of isolation and encouraging you to bring a bit of that celestial home into your current physical environment through acts of love and creation. This emotional resonance proves that the connection to your spiritual homeland has never been severed and that you are being cheered on by an invisible cloud of witnesses who know who you truly are. By accepting this longing as a sign of spiritual health rather than a symptom of depression, you align yourself with the rhythm of the cosmos and find the strength to fulfill your earthly mission with a sense of divine dignity. Nature is the living laboratory of God, and because it is free from the ego and the artificial layers of human society, it acts as a perfect conductor for the subtle signs that our spiritual guides wish to send us. You might experience a recurring pattern of animals approaching you, or notice that a specific flower blooms in your path during a symbolic moment, which are the physical fingerprints of a guide using the natural world to get your attention. Spirits have the ability to influence the movement of living creatures and the synchronization of natural events, turning a simple walk in the woods into a personalized message board from the invisible realm. Furthermore, the manifestation of sudden fragrances, such as the smell of roses or a specific wood smoke where none should exist, is a well-documented spiritual phenomenon used to confirm that a mentor is standing close by. These sensory alerts are designed to pull you out of your abstract worries and anchor you in the beauty of the present moment, reminding you that the same force that guides the stars and the seasons is also watching over your personal life. When the world feels cold and transactional, these natural signs serve as a warm reminder that the universe is alive, conscious, and deeply invested in your well-being. By developing a relationship of reverence for the natural world, you become a more sensitive receiver for these signs, allowing the wind, the birds, and the scents of the earth to become your daily spiritual advisors. The mentor can interact with the perispirit, the subtle envelope of energy that connects the soul to the physical body, creating distinct magnetic impressions that serve as a direct form of non-verbal communication. You might feel a gentle pressure on your crown or a tingling sensation that spreads across your chest, which are often the result of your guide pouring a stream of restorative fluid into your energetic system to help you cope with stress. These targeted sensations are frequent during times of prayer, meditation, or when you are engaged in an act of charity, serving as an energetic "well done" that reinforces your positive actions. Sometimes, a guide will place a supportive energy on your shoulder or the back of your neck when you feel physically drained, providing a subtle boost of vitality that allows you to finish a difficult task. These are the physical manifestations of the fluids of the invisible world, which Allan Kardec described as being as real as the air we breathe, though visible only to those with spiritual sight. Understanding these sensations as magnetic touches from a loving friend removes the fear of the unknown and replaces it with a sense of profound companionship. When you acknowledge these touches with a silent word of thanks, you facilitate the flow of this energy, making the interaction between the two planes more fluid and restorative for your entire being. We live in a mathematical universe, and our spiritual guides often use the language of numbers and patterns to navigate through the chaos of our physical perceptions, ensuring that their messages are impossible to ignore. You may find yourself waking up at the exact same time every night, or noticing a specific sequence of numbers appearing on clocks, license plates, and receipts in a way that defies the laws of probability. This numerical persistence is an alert meant to break the trance of your mundane routines, signaling that there is a rhythmic intelligence attempting to guide your thoughts in a specific direction. These are not superstitions but are akin to spiritual signposts, indicating that you are currently in a state of high synchronization with the spiritual world and should pay close attention to your immediate thoughts. The mentor uses these patterns to confirm that you are on the right path, or to gently nudge you to reconsider a decision that might lead you away from your growth. By noting the context in which these patterns appear, you can begin to decode the specific meaning behind them, turning the numbers of the world into a personal code of communication with your guide. This habit of observation turns your entire reality into a dynamic dialogue, proving that there is no detail too small for the spiritual world to use in their efforts to assist your journey. There are developmental periods in the life of every spirit when the mentor seems to withdraw, creating a vacuum of silence and a sense of profound isolation that can be distressing if not understood correctly. This period of apparent abandonment is actually a profound vote of confidence from your guide, a pedagogical necessity designed to test your ability to apply spiritual principles without external reassurance. Just as a teacher stands back during an exam to allow the student to show what they have learned, your mentor recedes to force you to rely on your own internal light and developed character. In the teachings of Spiritism, we learn that our greatest progress is often made during these dark nights of the soul, when we are stripped of our usual comforts and forced to confront our true selves in the silence. It is in this solitude that your will is hardened and your faith is transformed from a theory into a living, breathing reality that can survive the storms of physical life. Far from being forgotten, you are being watched with even greater intensity, for the mentor is waiting to see how you handle the freedom of your own autonomy during these trials. Once you have proven your ability to remain steadfast and loving, even in the silence, the connection will return with a renewed depth, reflecting the higher level of maturity you have achieved through your perseverance. The most definitive sign that your mentor has successfully reached the core of your being is when you experience a sudden, radical shift in your ability to forgive those who have caused you pain. True forgiveness is not a logical conclusion reached by the brain. It is an explosion of light within the heart that dissolves the dense, dark knots of resentment that have tied you to the past. When you find yourself looking at an old enemy with a sense of compassion, understanding that they are also a struggling spirit in their own process of learning, You are vibrating at the frequency of your guide. This shift is the highest form of spiritual communication, for it signals that you have internalized the divine law of love and are no longer a prisoner of the lower vibrations of revenge or pride. This liberation from past trauma is the greatest gift your mentor can facilitate, as it clears the energetic path for your future missions and allows you to move forward without the heavy baggage of earthly grudges. It is the moment when the guidance becomes complete, as you are now capable of being a guide and mentor to others, reflecting the same grace that has been shown to you throughout your long journey. Achieving this state of radical forgiveness is the final proof that you have finally heard, understood, and integrated the whisperings of your guide into the very fabric of your soul. The accumulation of these signs leads to a profound tipping point in the human experience, a threshold where you transition from a person who merely believes in the spiritual to a person who knows the spiritual through consistent personal evidence. Recognizing the hand of your mentor in the temperature of the air, the logic of your dreams, the wisdom of strangers, and the liberation of your own heart changes the way you walk upon the earth. You no longer move with the frantic energy of a victim of circumstance, but with the steady, calm pace of someone who understands that every moment is a co-creation with a higher intelligence. This awareness requires constant maintenance, a commitment to internal silence, and a rejection of the superficial noise that seeks to drown out the subtle music of the spirit. Allan Kardec's legacy was not just to prove the existence of spirits, but to show us how to live in active, productive partnership with them for the betterment of our moral character. As you continue to walk this path, keep your eyes open for the patterns, keep your heart open for the feelings, and keep your will firm in the pursuit of the light that never fails. Your guide is waiting in the next breath, the next sunset, and the next difficult choice, ready to lead you toward a destiny that is more beautiful than anything you have yet imagined. Accept this partnership with the seriousness it deserves, and your life will become a living testament to the truth that the invisible world is, in fact, the most real reality of all.